The podcast you're about to hear involves true stories, which may contain graphic content that is not suitable for children. Listener's discretion is advised. This is Esoteric Oddities.
Hey guys!
Wow, that was really
sorry,
fucking loud.
I spiked you.
It's
Okay.
all good. Hi guys, welcome back to Esoteric Oddities.
We're here. We're queer.
And we are doing it. So before we jump into reading your spooky stories, honestly, I feel like this is going to be so late to the trend because I screenshotted these October 3rd.
Okay.
It's October 3rd. And no, it's not Mean Girls memes, I promise. But it was a hashtag that was going around that I thought was funny. And it's hashtag make a horror film less scary. You'll catch on to it really quick. So the first one is the Texas Chainsaw Manicure.
Love that. It could go really bad.
It's true. Silence of the Clams.
Love that. That could also be really silent because some don't open.
This one says the Amityville Whore.
You're not wrong.
I'm here for it.
It's me.
Oh,
I'm the Amityville whore.
This says the seasoning of the lambs and then a picture of Salt Bae.
Shut up.
I wonder what he's up to.
Me too.
I feel
Let's
like-
call him.
I feel like he kind of let all that shit go to his head, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I totally agree. Salt Bae, if you're listening, get a life.
Oh my God, we don't know him. He could be
kidding.
going through it. Jesus. Last blouse on the left.
Oh, that was a good one.
That's a good one. Village of the Darned. Oh wait, hold on. You're gonna love this one.
can't wait.
The Texas Coleslaw Massacre. Remember we had the argument about cold slaw?
Coleslaw. It's still coal.
Wait, so this one you have to see the picture of. I'm gonna post the picture. So it says IT support, and it's a person in a clown costume with a headset on.
Shut up. I can't. That's too much for me.
The contouring.
That's good. That's good.
That's a funny one. What else do I got? The Texas Chain Store Manager.
Me.
That's funny as fuck. And I think that's all I got. The cuteness of the lambs. Oh, it's a little cute lammy.
Lambs are really cute.
Lambs are cute. Okay. I guess we should get into the spooky stuff. I just thought it'd be fun. We haven't really read any tweets to each other in a minute. But hey guys, it's October still, if my calendar is correct as we record this and put this episode out. So if you guys don't know, during October, we read your stories that you have sent to us, your spooky stories, paranormal stories, UFO stories, pretty much anything weird and unexplainable, or, you know, your mom's story, which is what mine is today. It's not my mom's story. It's your mom's story. But
Not my mom.
No, not your mom either. It's the fucking listener's mom.
Crazy turtle mama.
And we also have guests on. So stay tuned. Subscribe. Give us 5 stars, baby.
Sign up for our Patreon.
Yes,
we have some
Patreon.
cool things coming.
Patreon.com/esoteric oddities. Hint, hint. You're going to want to
Sign up.
be there. Sorry. You're going to go ahead and go first, yeah?
Yeah. So
Okay, let's just jump into it.
my stories from Reddit. Crazy turtle mama. She wanted her name to remain anonymous.
Crazy Turtle Mama, it is.
Also, she has some really great stories on Reddit, so I highly recommend going on there and reading all of them.
I love that. Crazy
Yeah.
Turtle Mama.
She told me she currently lives in Washington, but the story takes place in Oxnard, California.
Perfect.
So let's just jump right in. So prior to 2016, I lived in Palmdale, California. My mother and sister Honey lived with my youngest daughter in a rented townhouse apartment in Oxnard. Every week or two, I made the long drive to take them shopping and clean their house. They were both disabled. My mother was my heart, and my sweet sister helped raise me, so anything they needed, I was there for them. On the first floor, the kitchen was in the back with the door that opened to the backyard, then a big open space, then the living room, and then on the left, the bathroom, and my mother's bedroom. The stairs were on the right with the half-wall railing going up to the first landing. My mom was sitting in her lift recliner on the left, facing the base of the stairs. One night, we were all sitting in the living room, watching a show with the lights on, and my daughter was upstairs in her room. We were laughing at something we saw on the TV when I saw something on the stairs. It darted down the steps real fast, peeked at me, and then ducked down behind the railing, followed by a cold chill that entered the living room.
Fuck no.
My mother commented that it was cold and pulled her robe close. At first, I thought it was my daughter playing tricks, but when she didn't pop up, I got concerned. I said, "Mama, did you see something?" because she had full sight of anything there. She said, "No, dear. I thought I did, but there's nothing there." That's when it hit me and I knew what it was and where it came from. I ran up the stairs and burst into my daughter's room. "What did you do?" She looked at me and her eyes widened. She knew exactly what I was referring to and started apologizing.
Oh no, she's conjuring some shit.
I told her to tell me what she did to bring it into this house, and she proceeded to tell me that when her girlfriends were there, they thought it would be fun to summon a spirit. They were trying to reach the father of one of her friends who passed away 2 years prior, but she said something else came through and it scared them, so they stopped and her friends ran home without even saying goodbye. Well, I was furious. "How dare you play with something you don't understand?" I told her. I knew she was trying to help a friend, but for heaven's sake, I warned her for years never to dabble. I was thinking that not only do I worry about my family's health now, I have to worry about this. I asked if she at least closed the door, and she looked at me. She did not. She said they made a Ouija board out of paper, and when they were done, she ripped it up and threw it away. That door had to be closed, so we gathered the pieces, and she called her friends. 2 of them were too scared to come back. We performed the closing without them, but in the back of my head, I knew that it was still there.
You gotta fucking close out of that shit.
Okay, hello, say goodbye. Fast forward to 2016. I had an opportunity waiting for me in Washington State, so I begged and pleaded for my mother and sister to go with me, but my sister was frantically scared of new things, and although my mother was desperately wanted to go, she couldn't leave my sister's side. I wish now I was more persistent, so I moved, reluctantly leaving them with my daughter and her now husband to take over their care. Within those 2 hours, my eldest sister, Honey's health severely declined, and my mother shared that with me that she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I flew and drove back and forth to be with them every time, showing them pretty pictures and asking them to return with me, and every time Honey said she was too full of fear of new things and would say no. 2018, they both passed away, taking a big part of my heart and soul with them. My daughter and her husband moved out, leaving all of my mother and sister's things there. Someone had to put their stuff in storage, and of course, it had to be me. I drove there with my 2 grandchildren, they're 8 and 4, because there was no one available to watch them for that long. When we arrived, the place was in shambles. Dirty dishes and moldy food lined the counters and was piled up in the sink, and it looked like soot all over the floor. Mom and Honey's personal belongings were strewn around the house, and in my mother's room, a barricade of trash piled up and was against her door. In the middle of the floor, in the open space, was a full-length mirror I had never seen before, hanging off a wooden ladder. I just stood there and cried. I set up a clean spot in the living room for my grandson to play on his tablet, and my granddaughter wanted to help. As I was bagging things up in the kitchen, I noticed her just standing there, staring into the mirror. I didn't think anything of it, but she kept standing there. Then I heard her say to me, while not looking away, "Nana, can you get rid of this mirror?" I thought she wanted me to move it, but she was adamant that it was taken out of the house.
She said, "Get rid of."
Right. She said, "I want it out." I asked her why. She looked so scared.
Jesus Christ, that cat just scared the shit out of me.
Oh, girl. I asked her why she looked so scared, and she told me that while she was looking in the mirror, she was standing alone. She couldn't see anything in the reflection around her or behind her, just darkness all around her, and something was coming. I looked at the mirror, not at myself, and it did look very dark.
Ew.
Say no more. Not only did I take it outside, I smashed it into little pieces and threw it in the trash.
See, I feel like I would be too scared to do that.
Right,
When it comes to mirrors, I would have to Google some stuff.
Right, like, how do I do this? How do I, get rid of it?
Maybe just, cover it up.
Yeah, true. We slept in the living room, and it took days to even be close to being done. This was the last night, and we were alone. I just mopped the downstairs, so the last night I locked the doors and all the windows in the whole house, and we slept upstairs in the bedroom across from my daughter's old room. We hunkered down on some mattresses on the floor. I always left a light on in the hall. As I'm reading a book online, my granddaughter had fallen asleep next to me, and my grandson was on his tablet at the end of the bed. I was getting sleepy, and my grandson started to yawn. He looked up from his tablet, and his eyes got big, and then he ran to the door shouting, "Spooky!" and then slammed it. Running back.
I'm sorry, that's me, though.
Right. He quickly got under the covers and got as close to me as he could. I could see movement in the hall, dimming the light around and under the door, making swirling, strange shapes, as if someone were pacing, followed by surges of blackness. That night was long, and I felt on guard until I finally fell asleep, but woke up hours later and had to go to the bathroom, but I was too scared. I was waiting until daybreak, but I couldn't wait any longer. I slowly opened the door, fearing what was waiting for me on the other side. There was nothing, but I knew there was. I could feel it. I tried to be as fast as I could, leaving the bathroom door open so I could hear the kids, then ran back. Hearing a swoosh behind me, I slammed the door and laid holding the kids until morning. I received a call from my sister later that morning that she couldn't understand how we had been able to stay in that house. When I asked her why, she told me that when she was there grabbing some boxes of pictures, she heard noises coming from my daughter's room upstairs. She said it was loud and she felt an evil presence, and everything inside her said to leave, so she did. She also told me that my son-in-law, from which I had no knowledge of at the time, was practicing the dark arts in that room. Late that afternoon, everything was done. The kids were in the car, and the car was packed. I just wanted to look in my mother's bedroom one last time, where she used to sleep. These walls held so many memories. I felt like if I looked hard enough, I would see her, and I heard her in my mind telling me not to cry. As I stood in the doorway, a chill ran up my spine. The hairs on the back of my neck and arms started to rise, and I could feel something closing in on me, and in one ear I heard the word, run.
Oh, fuck.
I ran out of the house, not even locking the door. As we were driving off, my granddaughter asked me who was standing in the upstairs window. And that is the end of the story.
I hate that.
Me too. But Crazy Turtle Mama, she has really good stories. She's like really been through some shit. And we talked briefly about how her mother believed in all this stuff, and I think that's why she was so susceptible to things like this, and like the paranormal and like the occurrences.
Wow, and that's also really great storytelling, but
right.
I just don't, the fucking overall darkness of it, where you think something like is gonna appear, or something scary is gonna, and it's just like this
run.
But also, it's just like this big dark cloud of uncomfortableness.
You're not wrong.
Fuck no.
It's a fuck no for me.
That's a fuck no for me, crazy turtle lady. Is that what it was?
Crazy Turtle Mama.
Crazy Turtle Mama. Fuck out of here. Just keep swimming, I guess.
Okay.
That's Finding Nemo. Okay, so this comes from Cecilia, who actually emailed us 11 days ago. And Cecilia, I am so sorry. I thought I emailed you back and I totally didn't. My humble apologies. I really am sorry.
My humble onion.
So I'm Cecilia. So this is my mom's story. We were down in Mexico visiting family. She was up early drinking coffee on the porch, which was unusual for my mom. She is not a morning person. Well, Cecilia, your mom and I have that in common. A little backstory. My aunt and uncle own a lot of land and built a little house and rent them out to people. So my mom noticed the casita, in parentheticals, little house, across the street from my aunt and uncle's house. The lights came on. She was a young woman moving around the kitchen window. She didn't really pay much attention, just noticed that a young woman was getting ready to go to work. Then eventually the woman came out of the house, closed the door, locked it, turned, and saw my mom, waved to her, and walked towards the main highway to catch a ride to work. My aunt came out a few minutes later, and my mom asked her who the young woman that lived in the house across the street was. My aunt replies with a quote, "No one lives there." Of course she fucking did. Why would someone be living there? This pisses my mom off because obviously someone does. She just saw her. My mom just described her and told her sister, "I just saw her getting ready and the lights were on." My aunt, with really no reaction, replies with, "There is no electricity in that house." Bruh.
So explain to me that.
A fucking ghost, bitch. Okay. Not paying rent.
Not paying their electric bill.
Then my aunt said, "Look, I'll take you over there and show you. The place is empty and there is no electricity." So they go over to the house. It's empty and there is no electricity. My mom doesn't understand. My aunt, who is a curandera or a healer, I'm sorry if I totally butchered that Spanish word, or a healer, looks at my mom and says, "Yeah, I know. I've seen her too. She died last month when a bus hit her on her way to work."
What?
I hope you read my story. I love you guys. Love, Cecilia. Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Cecilia,
God. She was like, bomb. She's like, here's a bomb.
Oh my God. Damn.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I'm sorry I didn't email you back. I'm emailing you back right after we record this. And I also got, oh, shit. Wait. Oh my God, I'm such a fucking idiot. I was like, oh my God, a ghost is typing, but it was just my microphone was on my space bar.
A ghosty.
Silly dumb bitch. Okay, I've got another small short story. This is titled Story, and this comes from Giselle from Colorado. What's up, Giselle?
Hey.
She says, I had an encounter with a shadow person out of the blue at literally the most randomest of times, and I swear it made me crazy. I was talking with a friend of mine when I looked out my window and I saw a black, faceless figure looking back at me from behind a tree.
Spooky.
I remember I blinked 5 times and it wouldn't disappear, so I freaked the fuck out and yelled at my friend to hurry up and close my curtain. I was in shock. She freaked. I didn't look outside after that. I don't know what happened. What I do know is the months following, I was in a very depressing state and I couldn't really eat or do anything but cry. I couldn't sleep at night sometimes until 5 a.m. when the sun would start to come up. One night, I smoked a blunt, and I had a big framed picture with the Virgin Mary. Sometime after midnight, I looked at it, and her eyes were rolling around.
Oh, no. I don't like that.
That whole 6-month period felt like hell. I heard footsteps in my hall at night that would run rapidly and then stop and then start again. I would always just get the feeling someone was there. I mean, when I saw the shadow, it didn't have a face, but I felt the intensity of its watch. It stayed engraved in me. Well, I was getting worse and worse, skinnier and skinnier, and my mom called, oh wow, hold on, this is totally different. How do I say that word again, Jasmine? Curandera. Yeah, this is a totally different story. Wow. Yeah, right? I'm so sorry, I'm probably butchering that word. So my mom called a curandera over to our house, and this was the neighbor. She did this weird-ass thing with a Bible, some alcohol, and a plant. We prayed for a solid 30 minutes, and she rubbed some alcohol on my head, literally the top of my head. She said that my soul wasn't in my body, and it needed to find me again. When we get scared, it leaves through the top of our head. She said, I feel like I was being watched because it was trying to come back, but couldn't. Okay, so interesting. Needless to say, that night, as soon as she left, I knocked the fuck out. I hadn't gotten sleep like that for months. I started dreaming again, or at least being able to remember them again. I gained my appetite, and I didn't feel like I was being watched.
That's crazy.
I still hear footsteps, but it's not all the same feeling. I just wanted to share my story with y'all. 100% true. Well, thanks for letting us share your story, Giselle. That's so bizarre to think about. Like, you feel like you're being watched, and that's like a horrifying fucking feeling.
And then you feel like you can't eat, you can't sleep, and then all of a sudden...
Right, but it's your fucking soul trying to find you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Those are things that I don't even think about.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever heard a story like that before.
But, it makes so much sense.
That's scary. That is also very interesting. I read both stories, but I didn't plan to put them in the same episode.
Oh, that's so funny, yeah.
It's very funny. LOL.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding.
Wait, is that not the word?
No, that's the word. It's hilarious.
I'll punch you in the face.
I'll punch you in the
That's
face.
funny.
Okay. Well, you guys, thank you for sharing your stories. And we've got 2 great guests coming on. One is a repeat guest. If you guys have been listening for a while, I think the last time she was on was last summer.
Yeah.
It is Maizie, who is also the daughter of Mark Moran, who writes the Weird New Jersey, literally everything Weird Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Weird TM trademark.
Mm-hmm. He pretty much founded that whole thing with one of his buddies. If you listen to My Favorite Murder, they talk about him sometimes. They use him as sources and all that stuff. So go check him out. We're definitely going to leave that below.
I think he has an Instagram page.
Yeah,
Weird New Jersey.
Yeah, we'll leave.
We're plugging it.
We're
Go follow.
It for sure. So we got Maizie on, and we've got her boyfriend. So it's actually going to be Maisie's boyfriend, Chase, who's telling us
stories,
some fucking stories about where he grew up, which happened to be in his grandparents' funeral home. Guys, strap in, strap on. This one's a fucking doozy.
Okay, so now let's bring on our guests, Chase and Maizie.
And we are here with Chase and Maizie. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
Listens to the podcast once.
Yeah, literally.
Thank you both for being here. Maizie, you're a return guest. It's been a minute.
She's been like a 3-time return guest.
Yeah.
Have any fun plans for Halloween?
Spooky.
We just decided yesterday on Tony and Carmela Soprano.
Oh, we love that.
We're just going to go to South Philly, and I'm just going to buy a bunch of weird Italian linens.
Love that for everyone involved.
Maybe a leather jacket. I don't know.
Sounds
my
easy
budget's
enough.
like maxed out for this year. So.
Listen.
Me, okay?
I was the Hamburglar. The only thing I bought was a hat. Kept
And
my
the
receipt.
shirt.
You know I'm returning that
Okay.
shit. And then I bought a striped shirt that I can wear again. And then I already have a tie, so I literally printed out little hamburgers and stuck them on.
I was Wednesday Addams.
I
All
want
I
a cape.
needed was the wig.
Hi there, this is Jonathan editing from the future. So Chase, Maizie, Sarah, and I started rambling off on side conversations, and there really is no smooth way to transition into what happened when he started telling the story. So he's about to start telling the story. I also just want to say we did have 4 microphones in a makeshift studio, so I'm sorry if the quality is not A1, but please do not let that deter you from dropping a 5-star review on iTunes. That's Esoteric Oddities. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, let's get back to it.
Yeah, so it starts kind of like when I was growing up. The house my parents bought was a 250-year-old farmhouse
Spooky.
shit. Yeah.
that they fixed up.
Okay.
Love
So-
that. Love a fixer-upper.
At the same time, growing up there, I spent a good, I would say, 5 out of 7 days a week at my grandparents' house in the town over. And they owned a funeral home. Half the time I was growing up in a haunted farmhouse.
Okay,
and
I
half
love
the
that.
time I was just being haunted by dead bodies.
Wait,
Trauma, am I right?
did they own a funeral? They owned
It
the
was
funeral
theirs,
home?
yeah. So my
Still the
granddad
family.
started the company. He passed away 2007. And then my uncle was basically next in line. So he runs the Collins Funeral Home in
So-
Oxford.
Do
Did-
you plan on taking over
Fuck
the
no.
business?
No.
Okay.
No.
No way.
Do they like live in the house? Right? It's like they live above
Above
it.
it.
Isn't that
They
usually
do-
how it goes?
Yeah, so my grandparents did the whole time that they had it, and then like the kids did, like their 4 kids,
Okay.
including my mom. For a while, it was vacant. Like after they passed away, no one was living there, and now my uncle lives there by himself.
Oh.
Well, fun fact.
I would not do that.
There's a funeral home like my neighbor. They own a funeral home.
Is it a funeral home or do they
Yeah.
just own one?
And
Okay.
they like live up top.
Oh,
and like the funeral home is on the
spooky.
It's crazy.
But
Okay.
aren't you like desensitized to it from like a young age?
Oh, absolutely.
You
That's
ju-
like
it's
one of
just-
the weird things, like growing up, where kids would say, like, "Oh, my aunt died."
It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I know. She's
My-
in my living room
Yeah.
downstairs.
She's in the freezer box
It's like I
downstairs.
touched her
It's
face.
fine.
I know.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
god, no. It's
Okay, wait,
creepy. You're a creepy kid.
Have you seen the movie? Oh my god, what is it with the puppets? Mary Shaw.
Oh,
What is
Mary
it?
Shaw.
Wax Museum.
No, it's like the
Mary
ventriloquist. What the fuck was the name of that movie? I don't remember the name. So the main character, he like lived in a funeral home, and at night he would like sneak down to the basement.
I've
Did
done
you
that.
do?
I've done that.
No.
Yeah.
No,
So like,
no.
I strictly remember. So like, also growing up at the funeral home next door were like 2 boys my age.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like best friends.
Okay.
And once I figured out that there's actually dead bodies there, it became a whole different world.
Oh.
And it was basically like, "Oh, Chandler, I dare you to go downstairs and lay in the coffin for 40 minutes."
That
Shut
literally.
up. Not 40 minutes. What the fuck is that?
That sounds like a line from Friends, like
Right.
straight up. Chandler, I'll pay you to go lay in the fucking coffin.
But yeah, long story short, there were a couple times where like I'd walk. So like you would walk downstairs, like from the bedrooms into this big like living room area,
Right.
which is basically where they would do like the
The viewings and
The
stuff.
process.
not the viewings, but the process.
like the bombing.
Oh, like, hey, I'm so sorry for your loss. We want to make this as comfortable for you as possible.
Right.
So
Oh,
that
he knows
room
the
was
whole
right there.
script.
Believe me, I've heard it enough. So that room was right there, and then you would walk down this hallway, and then at the end of the hallway, you had 2 options. You would either go right, which would also connect into that little room, and then you could go in the kitchen, or you could go left, and the door to the basement was right there. And they
This
had
is-
these like crazy lights,
Yeah.
super bright white lights.
Oh god.
So I remember being a kid, and I was like, "Oh, it's like dark and late," and I know like Mum is in bed, so like who's
Someone
downstairs?
go fuck shit
Right.
up.
It's like,
Oh,
who's
no.
downstairs? This is crazy.
Oh,
So
no.
it's like, well, I'm going to walk down the stairs. And then you like walk down the stairs, you turn right. That is like the room of coffins.
Are they
Fuck
empty?
that.
Or is
Yeah.
there
They're all
shit?
empty. They're all
okay.
empty.
Okay.
And then
They're all paid for.
you turn right again, and it's the office. And then there's another door.
Oh,
Oh God, what's
where they
beyond?
would embalm
this is it.
the bodies.
Is
So,
it true that they just open them up and all the
I've
blood
never
goes down the
seen.
drain?
I've never seen that, but I've seen them bring like too many bodies in and out of that place.
No.
What does that look like?
How did they get it down the stairs?
Well, that's the thing. So you would go around the side of the house, and it was only 2 steps, but like you'd have to pick up the
The gurney?
Stretcher?
Yeah, the gurney or whatever, and
I don't know if that's a gurney. I don't know.
No, I think it is. I think
the
it's
cart
Okay.
that the body
I
lays
picture
on.
them just like rolling it down the
I
stairs.
know,
Like,
Well, okay, so for the
Oh,
longest
there's a
time,
turn.
they just had like these metal ramps. So like sometimes like it would fall over.
Oh no, with a
Like
body
a-
in it?
Sometimes
like a trash chute.
Oh no.
I've never seen that happen.
Oh, God,
I've
well-
heard it happened. So that's how you would get the body in. But I went to the down into the basement as a kid.
What do they what do they like? What is the official name for like that room?
the embalming
The
room.
morgue?
Is that
No,
The morgue?
the
Morgue?
official
No,
name or
morgue.
what they
No,
would
no,
tell me it
morgue.
was.
Oh, it is.
both? Okay.
I don't know the official
gurney.
name, but it was the off limits room.
I don't know the official name, but it was off limits. You should name this.
You know it was
The
bad.
the
off-limits
off
room.
limits room.
Like Pup-Up would say, you can't go there, but then Mama would say, you can't go there. And you listen to Mama.
Yeah, she'll beat your ass with a wooden spoon. I'll tell you that much.
She got the hot sauce. Put it under your tongue.
Oh
Yikes.
shit! Really?
Watch your mouth.
Did they really do that to you?
They did that to me one time.
Did you swear?
So, I don't remember what I said. I don't think I swear it. I think I disagreed.
Oh,
And it was one of those,
not
Yeah.
in
nuclear
my
family.
not
You
in
don't
my
disagree.
Italian
Yeah,
house.
German.
Oh, German.
German and Irish. So
Okay.
different beasts.
We got wooden spoons over here.
Okay, so I'm sorry I cut you off because I wanted to know the name of the room.
But anyway,
Okay,
the
so
off
you're going-
limits room.
Right.
I'm standing in the office, and there's like the door is cracked, and it's one beam of light,
Okay.
and every inch of me is like, don't open it. But every step I take is going forward,
Right.
and walk up to the door. I just push it forward, and it's just my uncle and my granddad wearing like elbow high gloves with a body on the table, all opened up, all sorts of. I think I was like probably 6.
Yikes.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
6 was like the first time I saw the body actually being
And-
treated, I guess you would say.
Yeah,
Yikes.
some would say.
Embalmed, yeah. But
Drained.
before that, I mean, they would have the viewings, and sometimes, if the viewing was at like 8 a.m., they would just set it up the night before.
Right, and you would.
So we would go into the big hall, like the great hall of the
Right.
house, where they would do like the viewings and just kind of
Sneak a peek.
see who's dead.
Oh,
Yikes.
Who did
That's
the makeup?
scary.
Your uncle or your granddad?
I was
Or
gonna
your
ask that.
grandmom?
No, my grandma didn't do that. No way. I think my uncle did all the makeup.
I love that for him.
oh.
But I mean, he had 4 daughters, so
Oh.
you definitely learned something from
Yeah,
that.
def.
Oh my
That's such a
gosh.
crazy industry. There's this girl, her name is Caitlin Dowdy. She's a YouTuber, but mainly she's a mortician, and she's been like going around and doing like speeches and stuff, kind of like normalizing death, because I mean it's
Yeah.
death. It's like
Yeah.
most people, you don't want to talk about it. It's scary. It's taboo. It's like macabre. It's not something you would normally bring up in a day-to-day conversation, but she's like normalizing it. And on her YouTube channel, she actually had one of the people who does the makeup, like walking you through things I wouldn't even take into consideration. Like if families want an open casket and they were suggested that they don't because of how the person died,
Right.
it's her responsibility to figure out how am I going to plaster this
work.
person's face who has like,
Gunshot wounds. Or
Yeah.
something crazy.
Mhm.
Ha.
Oh God.
So I told this story on the podcast. It was hometown murders, and this kid that I went to high school with, he was brutally beaten to death, and they had an open casket.
Oh
Yeah,
Sometimes parents do it as a statement.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like shit you don't think about. It's just kind of like, it's somebody's responsibility to make it look as normal as
right. And
possible.
like, but just like imagine taking it from point A to point B.
Oh yeah, I was like, I saw from where my grandma, like the day she died, like post-mortem, and then to where they had the open casket was like crazy different. It was like she looked like she did like 10 years ago.
They definitely use different makeup. Like that's not Sephora shit.
No. Oh no. It's probably.
Chase, what do they do?
It's like
Halloween
it's
makeup?
like
What is it?
No, it's
James
like
Charles
heavy in, like,
palette.
industrial.
Use code
I
10.
mean, I know they
use code James for 10% off.
It's like the stuff you get at Rite Aid.
They'll add like certain things. Again, I've never done it.
Yeah, it's probably not. I know we're drilling you like you're a professional,
like,
and we will be getting emails from people, and we will be forwarding it
It's
to
like
you.
how do you do that? It's like
I don't fucking know.
That,
Well, yeah, because they can use shit that isn't technically FDA approved because you don't
yeah,
need
That
your
I was gonna
skin.
say, like, if you're like, okay, some people will ask like no wrinkles.
Right.
I don't want to like have my loved one look old.
Oh, that's so weird.
So like you
Oh
can
my
use
gosh.
like plaster, and then like plaster the face.
Oh my
then-
God.
And then it kind of like, then you can sand the plaster down to make it. You can get very, very intricate with it, but I feel like
It's
the
an
most
art.
common one is kind of to use like a flower base mixed with whatever pigment you're trying to obtain.
Fun. We should try that on me. 'Cause
I love that.
your girl's got some fucking
I have crow's feet.
I want to be a dead body for Halloween.
Oh my god, that's a great idea. I'll just look glamorous and I'll be like, I'm fucking dead. They did me
Chase
right.
could be the
Mortician.
Yeah, I was
Mortician?
gonna say that.
Oh my gosh, a mortician for Halloween. Great idea.
It's my cousin's job.
Oh, that's
You
true.
could
She's
just
next in
literally.
line.
You could wear her uniform.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, yeah, bring the
Just a
gloves. Wear it all.
Just
Have
a suit
people
with
ask you.
some gloves, and you just have to look like you've never actually spoken to a human before. When you're a kid, you don't really know what is going on.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about like we grew up in the funeral home, but we weren't there for the funerals.
Right.
So it might have been different if we saw like crying families come in.
That's true. It is kind of just
Yeah.
like, I don't want to say like livestock
it's your
because it's
playground at this
dead.
point.
Right. It's kind of just like you
Something
see
that's with you.
quote unquote products come in and then go
Yeah.
out through the front
Right,
door
or
without.
like an object. It's not necessarily.
You don't have like a.
Empathy?
No, I wasn't gonna say
Whoa.
empathy. I was gonna say like
That
you.
was an attack on me.
You don't have empathy.
That's true though. That's like one of the hard things. Is
Right.
when the only thing I'm not empathetic about is when people tell me people died.
Oh,
Because
probably
it's like-
it's the way you grew up.
I literally watched everybody die.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like when you take it like that, it's
Yeah.
like I saw, the Drennans die, or at least I saw their bodies
Right.
come through the funeral home. So it's like it gets weird like that. But like, we never did anything blatantly out of disrespect. So like, somebody says touch the body. It's like, all right, who can touch it the longest?
I'm learning things.
I
Oh.
was just gonna say that. Now, have you ever had any like weird occurrences with living in a nursing home? I mean, no, skirt. With living in a funeral home.
Definitely hear voices a lot, just because people are up all sorts of hours.
Right.
So sometimes
You're like, is that a phone call or is that like?
my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Am I making that up? Did somebody get up at night and start walking around? But then, like, it's a super old house, very creaky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one to believe that spirits linger, and
Yeah,
there's
definitely.
definitely some lingering spirits in that house.
You think?
So, I feel like the one that stuck with me the most was, again, like 6 to 8 was when everything popped off. But the one thing I remember is, like, for a long period of time, whatever movies we would watch, like scary movies or
Yeah.
even like spooky movies, like especially around Halloween,
Love a spooky movie.
whatever was like causing fear in us would like manifest itself in our brains.
That's scary.
So for me, it was Ghostbusters. When it's actually in Philly. We had an Uber driver tell us this one time. So the whole movie takes place in New York, except for
Right.
that last like scene where she has the gargoyles and the like beams shooting out of that building.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Philly.
Is it really?
Just
Yeah.
so you know.
That's funny.
It's
How come
like,
I didn't know that?
It's like right by Delaware Ave, Columbus Ave.
It's kind of by Penn's Landing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
right by Penn's Landing.
I would have to
And
rewatch
did
it.
some
You can
Photoshop.
see it from 95, so you would like once you rewatch it and see it,
Right.
you know.
Well, and also I know that a lot of because it's a lot cheaper to film in Philly and
Oh,
make
yeah.
it look like New York.
Yeah. Oh my god.
People do
Especially
that everywhere.
CGI and Ghostbusters 1. Come on. Can't
Stay
be-
Puft
can't be
Marshmallow Man.
But I'm telling you, the second those damn gargoyles were on the screen, gargoyles were chasing me around that house for like 3 years.
Oh no, I don't
Really?
like that.
In my head.
Yikes.
I mean, it was a nice place, like, definitely nice family times. Where
Right, but it had weird like.
But it had very
vibes.
weird vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
would
can't.
assume.
I can't imagine. Like, even if, let's say, even if it wasn't particularly haunted, there's still a lot of like energy that everybody else is putting out.
Yeah.
The people who come in and out have like energy that's radiating
yeah.
fucking funky shit too.
True.
They say spirits manifest off of bad energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
always.
for sure.
So the negative energy will definitely make some spooky shit happen.
Especially,
That's definitely real.
Mm.
This isn't really, it's just a general fact, which I think is really interesting. But a couple years ago, there was this story on the news, and they were doing construction in Old City, and they found all of these bodies buried from probably 300 years ago.
Whoa.
Basically, like, all of Philadelphia is
It's a graveyard.
over all of
Yeah.
these dead bodies,
Mhm.
and then, like, the temple Gizeh Field is built over an old cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's bodies everywhere.
There
and then,
is-
like,
I
that's
mean-
like the what on your topic of burying bodies, which is like
It's crazy. It's fucking weird.
if you
It's-
you could just like I bet there's a bunch of houses with just bodies. In
I
them.
bet I could literally start digging in my backyard and I'd find some bones.
Yeah,
Do
It
it.
might be a little newer, a little fresh.
Ooh.
I love that for me and everyone involved.
Gross. Yeah, that's what I went to Savannah, and literally the big cemetery that's there. Hey Patreon, we're actually like I'm working on a video that's gonna be about this whole thing. I've vlogged the whole time, don't worry. It's all there on patreon.com/esoteric oddities. Thank you so much for your support. When I went there, they were saying that the huge cemetery that we were touring, it's fucking massive, is only 10% the size of the actual cemetery. But once the city started getting bigger, by the early 1800s,
back then they didn't give a shit.
No,
but
they were
also,
like, we'll just put it here.
also by the early 1800s, it was already so packed that they had to close it. Early 1800s.
Yeah.
So they had to close it. Then the city started expanding and people started driving cars. So they were like, well, fuck, we have all this land and like this is where everybody wants to be. And this is like where all the like canals and shit are. And we're down yonder at the creek. Like we got to put a town here. So they just started taking tombstones, moving them over and putting houses. And like a lot of houses don't have basements because there's fucking dead
Bodies.
people there.
And it's
Yeah.
creek.
That's crazy. I know in
I'm
Prague,
from Chicago.
I know.
The interesting part about Old City and all the bodies being in Old City. So originally it was kind of there was an Independence Hall, and then there was like buried because everybody was dying of such terrible diseases. They buried the bodies like a couple miles away.
Naturally.
And then they like relocated all of them. They like dug them all up and relocated them once all like the city started expanding. And at where I brought up like at Temple University, Gizeh Field, there was a sign that was put up that was collect all of your loved ones by this date, or we're gonna figure it out.
Stop.
Which essentially means they're just probably going to cremate everything and
Yeah.
probably not.
throw it into the river.
Right.
Probably just threw it in the
Yikes.
river.
You
Not
think?
even
Oh,
cremated.
underneath the Betsy
You
Ross
think?
Bridge. Yeah, there's a graveyard. The Gizeh Field at Templetown.
You're
First
just
of all,
really plugging them. Let's just get a sponsorship
Right.
from them. Shit.
Marley, get down.
So they relocated all of the tombstones under Betsy Ross Bridge. They just dumped them there.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's pictures of it. Go to WeirdNewJersey.com.
Oh, I love that.
plug your
That is-
dad.
Plug.
No, there's a picture. There's a great picture.
Oh yeah, wait. Maybe we should say that if y'all didn't listen to us last year when Maisie was on, her dad pretty much invented weird New Jersey,
Weird anything.
weird New York, weird
Oh, yeah, he
shit,
definitely-
weird
definitely.
magazine,
Weird state.
Yeah.
Franchise.
This is the daughter of the star. Actually, I was so excited. I texted you more than once when My Favorite Murder talks about your dad.
Oh,
And
they
you were-
talked about him a couple
You
times.
were so drunk. You texted me. It was the day you graduated. I forget what you said, but I screenshotted it. It's
so
somewhere on my phone. You were like, yee yee. I was like, all right.
And then I forgot to listen to the podcast for 3 months.
So you're like, does your dad like know like these podcasts and like know that like he's
no,
like,
he's not a podcast. Like he just doesn't really pay attention to podcasts.
I feel that. So he's just like, that's great.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him. I'll be like, oh my god, they did a really good. They sourced you and everything. And
Right.
Like, and he's like, okay.
He probably doesn't know like what to what extent like
Yeah,
My Favorite
yeah,
Murderer
sure.
listeners.
Yeah, he does not listen to podcasts. Like
Yeah.
not his thing. So he's in his 50s.
He's modest,
he's
man.
just
We
doing
love
great.
Mark.
he's into magazines.
Yeah, he's into written word.
Yeah.
It's true.
Published word.
Print
None of
media
this internet.
is not dead.
Tourism nets.
Okay, sorry. Let's get
Not
back.
yet.
We're
the
done with the
farmhouse.
bodies. Let's get to the farmhouse. Take me
I'm
there.
excited.
All right, so when my parents bought the house, it was 100% boarded up.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And
Which is
how
crazy.
how old? Like 250?
Yeah, I think
There's
it
a
was
year on it, isn't
1862 or
Yikes.
68. I can call him right now and find out, but I'm not going to
Put him on speaker.
I'm not gonna do that.
That's a 20-minute long conversation. I have to have.
I
Okay.
feel that. So how are you? What are you doing
it?
today?
They'd be like, Chase, you didn't call.
Yeah, really. They're
How
always
have you
talking about
been?
that.
What are you doing for your birthday?
So,
Happy almost birthday, by the way.
Yeah, happy almost
oh,
birthday.
thanks. By the time it airs, I'll be
16. You can drive.
a year old now.
Wow.
Basically, my mom and my dad fixed up the entire place over the 20, 30 plus years I've had the house. We didn't ever know the history of the house, but it's definitely...
Did they just not care? I want to know the history of like where I'm at. That was when I first moved. I was like, is this bitch haunted? I don't care if it is.
Yeah.
They just like looked. My mom's always wanted the old farmhouse, so they just kind of surveyed the area, looked at some random places, and then it was the cheapest option.
Okay.
And like the closest to like the funeral home.
Okay.
So
Right. That funeral.
Of course. So
it's not a red flag, but it's like a little pink.
so they picked that one. It's like a town over. It's like probably six or seven.
The
miles.
boards would have got me. I would have been like, something. They're trying to keep something in here, and I'm gonna go.
So when I was I think I was probably in like 14, we went to Arizona because my mom found out the people that used to live there. Her name's Lucy. I actually don't know if Lucy's still alive. So nice though. Lucy was so nice.
We love Lucy.
So we went out to Arizona and my mom like just wanted to meet her and she was like, no, you're staying with me. So we stayed with Lucy for like plus 2 weeks
Oh.
God.
in Arizona.
Wow. Whoa.
No,
my
she was
God.
sick. She was so sick. She would like shake our shoes for scorpions and stuff.
Love
so
a good
cool.
shoe shaker.
Wow. How hospitable.
So for like across the street from my parents' house is this horse farm. And every once in a while, like if you're outside, you can like definitely hear the horses like clear as day.
Right.
But when you're inside the house, since it's old stone walls, you can't really hear anything but what's in the house. And sometimes you can't even hear what's in the house.
Oh, I don't like
I
that.
don't like that. Yeah.
So I remember for the longest time, I swore I was hearing like horses in the house. And then I would like go outside and you wouldn't hear any horses. They were all like stabled. So that was always something that was weird to me, but I never really like thought about it that much until we went to Arizona.
Oh my god, ghost horses. I'm fucking here for it.
So Lucy I think she was like 4 when she moved out of the house. And they were the last people in the house.
Okay, so it's been boarded up.
Lucy,
since.
Wow.
her sister, her dad, and then her mom. So where the kitchen was, which is like usually where I would hear
The horse.
the horses, where the kitchen was used to be the stable.
Stop.
Oh shit.
And
Stop it.
before Lucy and them moved out, well, the reason they moved out,
Oh god.
I'm ready.
Lucy's mom heard a sound come from the stable. So Lucy's mom went to check out the stable, see what was wrong. Everything's good, the horse is fine, no problem. She goes back upstairs. Now this is all retold through Lucy, retold through me. Lucy's mom goes, here's another thing, probably about like later in the night, probably around like 3 a.m. Goes down,
3 a.m.'s the time.
Witching hour.
goes down to the stable again and screams and then gets kicked in the head by the horse and dies
What?
immediately
In your kitchen?
in what is our kitchen now.
Whoa.
So growing up hearing these horses,
Wait, hold on. Why was the scream?
where
Just-
was this scream?
No, why did she scream?
Right, nobody knows.
Because she's dead.
We were talking about this earlier, how spirits manifest, or like energy manifests into weird spirits and things. So was the scream before she got kicked in the head? Probably. But what did she see? Nobody knows because she died.
Oh, I don't like that.
Spooky.
But yeah, so growing up, you'd always hear, or at least I would always hear, like horse sounds or just random sounds in general.
Like
And
what?
like the house being so old, it just like would creak. But like more than that, you would hear footsteps. But the one that got me the hardest
Take me there.
was above my bed. So it's an old farmhouse. We had mice. That's no problem. We had mice for like a long time, and then we didn't have mice for like the shortest period of time. And I remember laying in bed one time, and you kind of heard. I don't want to say nails on a chalkboard because that's too like harsh.
Right.
But like imagine like dragging, like if you tied a string around a piece of like a brick.
and you
And
just
you
dragged
drug
like a
the
brick.
brick across
Oh,
the hardwood floor,
no.
right? That's what I would hear before bed like, every night, right?
Above your head?
Above my head.
No.
So whatever was in the space above my head was making that noise. We'll come
Where
to
your
find out.
attic is?
where the attic is.
Oh,
I go up in the attic the day after hearing
a brick.
basically what sounds like something being drug across the floor.
Is this going to be some hereditary shit? I don't know if you've
Yo,
seen
that was
movie.
not
Not
okay.
kidding. And the people listening, you can't see how long my arms are held out.
They're
A snake skin.
Oh,
What the fuck?
About this long.
Ew.
Probably how long is that? 2 feet? 3
yeah.
feet?
that looks like 4 feet.
Like 4 feet long snake skin.
Stop.
All fresh. Like sticky
Ew.
fresh.
So you had a fucking
Up in
snake.
the attic. So like
So you were listening to it slither
I was
around.
listening to a snake
Ew.
slither around my head at night.
You found the skin, but did you find the snake?
Never found a snake.
Ew, I hate that.
So
like
it could
that.
still be there.
Creepy, but I thought it was gonna be like I thought you were gonna find like a body up
Me
there.
too.
Slithers and horse sounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Coming
Wait.
from
Both
How did
triggering
you?
for you.
How did you feel when she told you what happened and you were like,
I live
Hold
here."
on, bitch. Not just that, but like I've
I
been
hear
hearing
that.
horses and I didn't even know it was a stable.
Yeah, I mean that was crazy because like
It's not like you heard it after you knew. It's like you had no idea and
yeah,
you were
I heard
hearing
it
it as a kid.
before as a kid and never really like questioned it. And then it was like this whole thing where my mom would try and argue, like, no, it's just the horses across the street. Well, that's
Listen,
that's
Mom.
like really far for that sound to travel,
Right.
especially to be
In a stone house.
that like. And I'm not saying like it wasn't like a neigh or whatever that sound a horse makes. Like it would be like very very intricate.
like a
like-
horse sound.
Yeah, like if a horse were to turn around, and you would hear its
Oh, like the little.
the horseshoes like touching like the concrete ground or something. You know what I mean? Like things that wouldn't make it.
And
that
you wouldn't
far.
have. Yeah, I was gonna say you wouldn't have heard that across the street. I got kicked in the head by a horse once.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I didn't mean to make this about me, but I've been. Yeah.
At least you didn't die. Oh my god. You
Unless I
wouldn't be
did,
here
and this
today.
is. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I was wearing a helmet, and I didn't tell my instructor when it happened because I wasn't allowed to be feeding the horse. Its name was Oki. I was feeding it, and I was doing the cleaning the horseshoe, and he had like a sensitive hoof or like a cracked hoof under the shoe, and I got it, and it kicked me in the head.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, knocks the
I
fuck
got
out,
thrown off a horse and I landed on my face.
and they put the horse down on strawberry.
yeah,
right?
they did. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
What?
Yeah.
It's traumatic.
What's up with humans and that shit?
People seem to think it was either my brother, like a fly landed on the horse, and my brother spotted it. Because as soon as this woman had the reins, I was riding the horse, you know?
as you do.
I'm having fun. And then it was either like it got stung, or my brother spotted a fly, and it just like went
Bumped
up in
you
the
off.
air.
Bumped you off.
I went up in the air. I landed on my face. I remember vividly landing on my face. Everything went black, and I woke up in the hospital.
All right.
Okay,
So
sorry.
next to the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
or the stable,
Right.
there's an add-on that my parents did to the house. Where that bathroom is in that like back room area, to get into the bathroom, you open the door, and if you look down, it's just a piece of plexiglass. And
Oh, it's so weird.
It goes down probably 20, 25 feet into a well.
You should add that to the show notes. A picture of
Yeah,
it.
do you have
It's-
a pic?
I can give
Yeah,
you a pic.
I have a
Absolutely.
picture.
Oh, yes.
What if the plexiglass like breaks?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yo, okay, so my mom's great friend, Ralph, love you to death,
Shout out Ralph.
used to come cut our hair in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's huge.
Okay.
Love the guy, but he's like 400 pounds.
Right.
And he would just walk on top of that plexiglass.
No.
My entire life, I was petrified of falling
Shut
through into that
up.
well. And then the first time Ralph came over to cut our hair, he was like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom," and full on stepped on the plexiglass. And my dad, who's like a jokester, like made a joke about
Right.
it and was like, "Well, I bet you're not scared anymore." And I was like, I'm not. I'm definitely not scared anymore. I can definitely walk on that plexiglass.
See,
Right?
I
What
wouldn't
the
walk
fuck?
on it because I would have been like, he put some plex in that glass, and then the
True,
next
and
person
now
to
it's
step
gonna
on it's going to
snap
fall.
when I walk on
The
it.
fuck?
Especially
Oh,
my
it's
my
so
dad
scary.
built it, so it's like
Wait,
Oh,
hold
I
on.
don't trust.
I'm just like
not the well. He put the plexiglass.
I know the,
up.
the
Yeah,
plexiglass.
yeah.
I don't trust.
And you have to step over the plexiglass to get into the bathroom.
That's
what a
fucked up.
unique feature to your house. Is there like a grate over the top of it?
Yeah, I need
First
to see a
question.
picture. I
Just
need.
plexiglass.
Second question. No. Okay. So
There's a light that goes down, so it shines off.
okay. So like
water.
they're trying to show it off. There's water down there.
Yeah. So there's water down there. So it's like
Is that where the shitter leads to?
no.
No, they're drinking water. Actually,
You looked at me. You looked at me like it was a stupid question. I don't know. It's the well
Where the
in the
shitter is?
bathroom.
No, but they would I don't know. I think it was just like something my parents did to make the house like
Cool and spooky.
yeah, be like a little unique farmhouse.
Okay,
you know?
so you saw a fucking what in there?
I swear to God, one time I was like showing it's one of the one things, like, if you come to my house for the first time, like, my parents are, oh, show them the well. I mean, it's not like they're like, oh, show them, like, the antique toy car collection.
Right, it's like show them the fucking hole in the ground that they have to step over.
Yeah, so, like, most people get freaked out, but I remember showing a couple friends from high school the well. So you turn the light on, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then I go to leave the bathroom, and I just, like, the light was on in the well, so I was just, like, glanced down. And it's too far to, like, have a reflection of the top, like, of you.
Yeah.
Right, on the glass
But
itself.
I definitely saw in the well, like, the outline, eyebrows, and, like, kind of, like, under eye, like, I guess you would call it, like, if you don't, when you don't sleep, that little, like, dark circle.
Bags.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I missed that one. But yeah, the bag's, like, under this face.
It's
Through
Samara,
the
okay?
well. So, like,
Samara.
I go to the bathroom, I just
Samara.
look down, I see this little face in the well, and then at the same exact time I'm walking out, my dad turns the light to the well off.
Fuck no.
I go, no, turn that back on. Turns it back on,
Gone.
there's nothing.
Damn
I don't
it.
like that shit.
I just looked at him, and I know immediately from the look he's giving me, he's not going to believe a word I say about this. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just leave it be. I think I told Garrett, who was one of the people over there, I think I told him that I saw it, and he just was like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that.
Don't tell me
I'll
that.
pee
ever.
outside.
He was like, I don't want anything to do with that. No, I think he did. I think he peed outside.
I would pee outside too.
He's
Did you
definitely peeing
see The Ring?
Yeah,
Oh
talk about
my
like
gosh.
terrifying.
Yeah, so
I
like
watched
that's
the
it.
ring in the like where our TV was, and the whole time I'm just like,
There's a well in my house.
oh shit, what if she crawls out?
Okay.
I mean,
of this
that
plexiglass.
yeah, plexiglass is heavy, but if she could make it that
She
far,
can do anything.
She
She
could jump
definitely-
out of a TV. She could get in. She's getting under that plexiglass, okay?
I hate it.
Wait, 7 days.
You're right.
That was basically how I felt. It was like that's how
He's
long
like,
I had to
What's
live
that story?
after that
You
movie.
told me this story once where you were playing in the living room.
Oh, toys. We're
She's
at it
stuck
again.
on the toys, and I
Because
don't. This is a different boyfriend you had.
No.
Oh
You
no.
caught him in a
You,
lie.
you told me this story
Must have
where
been your
Edit
other
that.
girlfriend.
You can edit that one out.
you were playing. This was the last time I stayed at your house, and I saw the ghost lady, which we'll get to that story. But you're playing with all these toys.
Oh, the Power Rangers.
Yes.
Okay. I used to have this like really intricate way to put this one set of toys back because it just came with in like this case. So you would open the case and there was like a spot for each toy.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Power Ranger set. And like the one thing it had was like a White Ranger and a Green Ranger from the original TV show. And if you don't know this, the Green Ranger is the White Ranger.
Spoiler alert, John. You'll have to edit that out.
Crazy. Is that a spoiler? That
No,
show's
it's
from the
like
90s.
20 years old.
30
I'm
years old.
kidding.
But I can't see myself putting the toys back anyway other than the way I would have done it. And I would always play with every single one of in the set.
Right.
So I put the toys away. It's like dinner time. I think like family was coming over, so my mom was like, go put a nice shirt on or
Right.
something like that. And I just like, I'm about to walk down the steps and she like screams, come to the TV room. I'm like, what? But I remember like coming into the room and she's like, I told you to pick your toys up. And there's the toys sitting on the couch, like sitting on the couch, not laying on the
don't
couch,
like
like
that.
seated up.
And you
Oh.
just forgot this to tell you guys this
All
story.
right, well, you kind of pressured me into this one. But it's just like sitting on the couch. And
Ew. And you put that shit away.
Yeah.
I know I put that shit away.
Oh, that's creepy.
So like, did you
Ranger.
admit?
No, to what? The bitch, the ghost
to your
did it.
mom, like,
I
hi,
told her. I was like,
put
Mom,
these away.
I swear I put all the toys away. And she's like, yeah, I obviously didn't. And
Well,
I
you
was
know
like,
this house is haunted. We got a well in the back
I was
with
like, Mom.
plexiglass and all this other shit
And a fucking face in that.
What about all the
Face in the wall.
shadows that you
and horses.
That's just like, you would just see shadows all the time.
Just as you do.
You just see shadows. Like,
Did you get like weird vibes from it, or did you? Is
from
it just?
shadows?
Yeah, I don't know. Back in our old house, there was a fucking
Shadow man.
shadow man, and he stood by the cat litter box in the
All
fucking
the
corner.
time.
And when I had sleep paralysis,
Oh my
homeboy
gosh.
like snuck a little peek at me while I was. It was horrifying. So I got a bad feeling about him.
Sleep paralysis is scarier than anything we've been talking
Okay,
about.
you're not wrong. You gonna tell your story?
Oh, I'm gonna tell my story. This is the second scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, tell it first.
Other than being at your house,
Hi.
Jonathan, the last time we recorded the podcast.
And it's just
that was the most...
Wait, I don't remember what happened.
Oh my god.
It was just like footsteps and
no,
bangs.
You don't remember? Like, we were recording the podcast, we were by ourselves. Like, we were sitting in your kitchen, we were home alone. And we hear all the doors slamming upstairs. You're so casual to it because this happens.
He doesn't know what's going on, really. He's just like, this is fine.
And then
what are you gonna do?
That was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, paranormal wise. And then because I know your house is fucking haunted. Like,
yeah, we also. I mean, I don't want to say too much, but I know some things that happened on my street that potentially happened at my house. I can't pinpoint it.
What's
through
going
a
on,
newspaper, but I have to go to like the library and go through their archive or something.
You should totally do that.
I think I'm going to do
Special
it.
episode.
Do it.
See, but my only thing is the Googleability of it, and people would literally know my exact address.
Yeah. Oh, but you can tell me otherwise. So
you're saying at his parents' house?
No, this is at your house. When we heard those,
right.
I'm saying that this is the first scary experience, and then at his house was the second scary experience that I've had. So at your house, when all those doors were slamming, and we heard all that shit upstairs, and then we were like, you were like, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's fine. Because
he didn't want to
feed into the energy. And then so we like kept recording, and I was like, okay, whatever. But then we heard that those bangs, like it sounded like somebody was taking the lid off of a toilet and slamming it down and picking it up and slamming it down, and then we had to stop recording.
Right.
We stopped. That's why part of the reason why it took so long when we were recording, because we had to stop 3 times.
Because it's spooky.
To deal with all these noises that were going on in your house.
I had some weird shit happen at my house.
Remember the cabinets?
See, yes.
The cabinets.
Did she tell you about that?
No.
At my house,
Maisie doesn't tell me anything.
So that happened, but also the house that I live in now, Sarah and I we just dropped Patreon. This was 2 years ago. We're upstairs in my bathroom. We're the only people home. It's just Sarah and I, front door's locked, everything. We're up in the bathroom getting ready. For the video, we both come downstairs and every single cabinet in my kitchen is open.
And I was like, Jonathan, you did that. And he was like, I didn't leave the room. And I was like,
with her the whole time. Literally,
you're right.
We walked through the kitchen, up to the kitchen, up through the stairs.
Every fucking cabinet.
And
open.
then came downstairs and every single cabinet was open.
Or the time that you said that the alcohol bottle flew off of your...
Oh, bitch! I forgot about that.
I forgot about all
that.
these stories. Or the time that you had that, like, kind of like the silver curtain up and you saw somebody's hand go past it.
All right, but this podcast isn't about me. Let's hear about the story when you stayed at his house.
Just taking a stretch.
I know.
So the last time I stayed, Chase's parents still make us sleep in separate beds.
My parents do the same thing.
Did you sleep in the back room or like my childhood room?
No, I slept in your childhood room.
Yikes.
No. Did you?
Yes, I slept
the one next to my parents' room.
Yeah, the one next to your parents' room.
Cool.
So this is probably the summertime, or around summertime. I've always had a really, like, weird feeling in his house. Never, like, totally comfortable. Like, I wouldn't want to be by myself.
Yeah.
Like,
after these stories, I wouldn't either.
There's a lot of different experiences where I've just never wanted to be by myself in his house. So this one night, I was sleeping in his childhood room, and it's very small. How would you say, like, how wide would you say your room is? Like 6 feet.
How wide?
Yeah.
6 feet.
It's
tiny.
It's like an 8x12.
So like 8 feet wide.
Right.
So like
it's a shoebox.
It's a shoebox.
No,
it's a walk-in closet.
It was tiny.
So
I have that room
the
now.
The twin bed is in one corner, and then say you're like in the corner, you're sleeping facing the opposite wall, and you can basically like if you like stick your foot out, you could touch the cabinet on the wall. It's like tiny.
Okay,
like,
got it.
Yeah. So I wake up in the middle of the night and I hear footsteps creaking, and I like wake up a little bit and the door's open, and I always like, of course I'm gonna close the door. So I wake up and to these footsteps creaking in the hallway, and the bedroom door is like a crack open. So then I'm like, whatever. And I look into the corner opposite of the bedroom, which is like the corner where I could like reach my hand out and touch the wall. And there's like a woman standing there looking towards the corner wearing, I could tell, brown hair and wearing red.
Oh shit.
And I was like, is that Chase's mom? Like,
Why is she in my room?
Yeah, I was just like,
Just standing in the corner.
I don't like that.
yeah, and I was like, that's weird. And I was like, I was wide awake. I tell this story, and every single time people are like,
Are you
it's
weird
sleep
dreaming?
paralysis, or like, you're lucid dreaming. And I'm like,
No, you could
no,
tell
like,
that. Like, you could tell when that's
I know
happening.
when I'm conscious and
Yeah.
wide awake. Like, I don't lucid dream. Like, I can tell when I'm conscious and wide awake. And
Also,
I'm
you
sitting
could
straight
tell
up.
when it's like a sleep paralysis versus lucid dream versus like when you're fucking awake.
Yeah, because I remember my entire thought process and like all my feelings exactly. And I'm like waiting for my eyes to adjust because I'm like, oh, like my eyes just have to adjust. I'm just like seeing a shadow.
Right.
But my eyes adjust and like
There's a fucking woman in my room.
there's something like there's a person standing there.
I don't like that.
I think like probably like 5'5" red brown hair, red like dress, brown hair.
Right.
And I'm like, hey. And I start like, because like my mind starts going to like, there's a person there. I need to like be like,
Are you good?
I
Yeah.
go into like pretend I'm asleep
well,
mode. That's
because
what
like
I would do.
my mind
It's Lucy's mom.
was going with, I don't even know what I was thinking, but like, I guess it's like fight or flight because it's like,
Right. You can't control the reaction.
So you're like,
It's-
hey,
I'm not gonna
hey.
just roll over and
Mhm.
like pretend like I'm just like, hey, like look at me.
Oh,
I
no.
remember this exactly. I was like, look at me, say something.
I need
Like,
to know.
I want whatever this is out of my room.
So you want it to know that I know you're here.
Yeah. And then nothing happens, and my next instinct is I start panicking.
Mhm.
So I take my foot and I kick it
Bitch!
because I was like, I
A badass.
I don't know what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah, kick her.
because I was just like,
Kick her.
I am
what's over
ready
there.
to
No,
be
because I wanted to
killed.
prove myself, like, because my mind was thinking this is a real person. This is
Right.
Chase's
You don't think it's
mom.
a.
Because I'm thinking,
Right.
Chase's mom, look at me. Like,
Say something.
You're sleepwalking or something. Say something. Look at me.
And I'm gonna kick you
So I'm
in
gonna
the
kick
face.
my boyfriend's
yeah,
mom.
like if you don't respond to me,
I'm
like, or
kicking
look
you in
at
the
me,
face.
Like, I'm going to like tap you on the shoulder. I'm like, your next instinct with somebody that's not responsive
Really
is to
sad.
tap you on the
Roundhouse
shoulder.
kick to the face.
So I was panicking. So I stuck my foot out and just kicked it, and it went away.
Did
and
you,
I'm
like,
Wait,
feel
and there was
anything?
nothing there?
No,
Was it,
there was
like,
nothing
air?
there. It was just air.
It wasn't even like a fucking coat rack with a coat on it.
No,
There was nothing there.
No, there's nothing there. And I remember just like this was like probably like 30 seconds. Like it was like all the times where you're like, oh, my mom's playing a trick on me.
But it was like too long for
It was
that.
too long for that.
Yeah.
And then I look at the clock and it's witching hour.
Oh.
What is that? What that
3
o'clock. 3 a.m.
3
3
o'clock.
a.m.
Oh, do you want to tell them what happened at 3:10?
Oh God.
What happened at 3:10?
You shook me 50,000 times, and you were like, we got to switch rooms.
I would too.
So after that happened, I was like,
I wouldn't have moved.
After that happened, I wasn't like terrified. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, I have to get out of here. But I remember like went in his room, which was down the hall,
Mm-hmm.
and I woke up. I was like, I can't sleep in that room. I can't.
I wouldn't be able to either.
Yeah, I would have been like,
And
fine.
then he was like, fuck you, and I went back into sleep.
You didn't switch
Wow.
Did we
rooms?
switch? I don't
No,
remember.
we didn't switch.
Oh, I
I went
was
back
like-
to bed.
I was like, I'm
Oh my
was
God.
like-
How
I
the
was
fuck
like,
do you go to
whatever.
bed for the rest of that night?
I'm good, I guess.
And then the next morning, everybody disregarded me.
What
and
do you
everybody
mean?
was like, him and his parents, they were like, eh. And
Well, is it something normal? Like, have your parents like said that they
his
seen
dad
anything?
said, it wasn't the first time.
You seem to be very like
You're just shrugging, Chase.
struggable at the.
but
What
he
are you
has
gonna
no
do?
stories about toys.
And after we left
Hey,
the house,
I don't know about no toys.
after we came back to Philly, Chase was like, well, I didn't want to say anything because I wanted you to want to come back home with me and like visit my parents again.
I said, "Fuck you! You could switch beds with
Also,
me, bitch."
we don't have to sleep there.
So, have you never seen like this woman or felt the presence of a woman like this in your house?
I definitely would relate to what you said earlier, where you were like, I'm definitely just going to turn, like, get under the covers,
Yeah.
and
Put
I'm
your-
turning the other way,
Yeah.
and if
So
something
you're-
grabs me,
Are
I'm
you
just,
subtly saying you have had certain
I think,
instances?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, interesting.
Now, you mentioned something with a picture.
A picture.
Your friend had a picture and it like fucked everyone up.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So
Oh,
this
God.
okay. Fast forward into
Present time.
last year,
Yeah.
October last year. So my good friend Nikki. So I'm pretty sure Nikki gets this painting of Pazuzu, which
Oh
is
god,
like
yikes.
Okay,
guys-
wait.
You don't
I'm
fuck
missing
with shit
something.
like that.
right.
What am I
you
missing?
just-
What's Pazuzu?
Pazuzu is like a demon, like a hell demon almost.
It's like a demon, kind of like the one from like Hereditary.
I don't.
Like and
Okay.
not just of demons.
I'm going to correct you, Chase. That's not the story.
Oh, no.
This other artist in Philadelphia who specializes in paintings like that.
Yeah.
And she does the proper satanic rituals on the paintings.
Oh.
But I think Frank got it from her.
Yeah.
And then gave it to Nick.
Whatever it is. But it had the proper, like, rituals
done to it.
To make it a part that you could worship.
Interact.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, it gets into Nikki's hands. Last October, the store I work with changed, and now we're 2 stores in one, which meant like a whole new group of people came in, including Nikki, including some other people, and then some other people that aren't a part of that company anymore. Nikki's the only name I'm going to use.
Okay.
So basically, everything was fine. Everything was like totally chill. The company was doing fine. Everyone was getting along. Until Nikki brought that fucking painting into the store.
And started burning incense under it.
And then that was a different time. So basically the 2 like owners of the store were like, we need decorations for the basement. Bring some decorations. So everybody brought something. So there's like a super weird like fox hunt painting.
Okay.
Of like a fox hunt.
Right.
With like the dogs and the horses and stuff. And then like immediately across.
And then a fucking succubus in a frame.
Pazuzu.
Like 20, like probably 10 feet tall ledges. So the one, you have the left side, if you're looking at a certain angle, you have the left side, which is the fox hunt painting. And then directly across from the fox hunt painting is this huge painting of Pazuzu. And then everything went terribly wrong.
Just all went to shit.
Everything went to shit.
Like what kind of things were
Like the
happening?
whole company just went to shit. Like
Shit.
people's relationships started like going on the edge.
Oh, no.
People were like, questioning if this is like the job that they're gonna have, and then they were like, oh, you know what? Like, no, I'm out.
Some people did some really,
I'm gonna
really
quit.
bad things there.
What do you mean?
Like,
you don't have to get
company,
specific.
no, company relationships wise, like really bad, like corporate things that they shouldn't have done. But it's interesting because people say that this specific demon is like weeds out bad people, if that makes sense.
Oh. Did you guys realize like it's the fucking painting? Let's take
how'd
this
that go?
down.
Wait, how
like
about the fucking like chairs that would move?
Oh my
and the
god!
fan and the steps.
well,
like-
not the
It
band.
wasn't just like people acting
No,
crazy.
it was like so much.
So much
like,
shit happened.
It used to be like very open when it was just our store. So you like could walk down in the basement, and the basement was like a retail space where we had like clothes, apparel, stuff like that, shoes, whatever. So then they basically built this wall, and now you like go through this door, and then you can go down the steps. And now down the steps is like this big office, and part of the office is we have these huge rolly chairs. So
Gotta have rolly chairs in the office.
there's been like so many times where you'd be like downstairs, and then like it used to be set up differently than it is now, where there were rolly chairs kind of on both ends of the room, but you couldn't see to the other end of the room. You had to like walk around these shelves, and you'd be sitting like with the friends where the TV is, and then like you would hear a chair like roll across the room.
Oh, fuck
You'd be
no.
like,
I'm good.
oh, what was that? And
I
you'd be
think
like,
one of the people actually saw it once.
Oh, hell no.
I think
What was that?
She's
The
in
cat.
Sorry, what device?
No.
Okay, so
Sorry, I didn't find a device named No.
Alexa, please stop. Thank you.
Yeah, you really told her.
Just shut her the fuck up.
Okay, so this one time,
this one time.
Big Boss Man was by himself at night counting the money, and there are like 20 steps behind him that we were just talking about, that staircase, and he hears somebody run up the staircase.
Oh.
And he turns around, and of course nothing's there. And he was like, fuck that. And then there was this other time that Nikki, who we were talking about, everybody was down in the basement hanging out. There's 3 fans. And he's looking
Are
up,
they ceiling
zoning
fans?
out.
Like ceiling fans?
Yeah, ceiling fans. And he's zoning out. And this one fan is going. And then he, like, breaks his zone out, looks around, and none of the other fans are going.
Fuck that.
And he looks back up, and it's slowly coming to a stop.
Same light switch.
Same light switch. And then he took the painting away, and
Everything
And
stopped.
everything was
everything
fine.
stopped.
Did
Yeah.
they say like,
Um,
oh, we think it's the painting, or like Did something happen?
No, I think we knew immediately. I think after the stair situation,
Right.
because like usually like we'll all hang out in the bottom of the store and we have security cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll run up the steps if a customer comes in.
Yeah.
So it's like the running up the steps is very, very, you know when somebody's
Familiar.
running up the steps.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you know exactly what it sounds like because you
Mhm.
jump up like 20 stairs.
Right.
So think after that situation where there was actually nobody there that ran up the steps,
Fuck no.
Nikki was like,
Get that painting.
damn, the painting's haunted. I'm taking it back upstairs.
And now it's
And then
hanging
Nikki-
above his bed.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like he
Ew.
took it home.
Why? Okay, and before we go, we got a couple of questions. We're just going to do rapid fire because we are running out of time. Take it away, Sarah.
So, Chase, you're in a horror movie. Are you the final boy, the first to die, the comedic relief, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer?
Ugh, I wanted to answer that question.
You
All
can
right, you can
answer
answer
it
it too.
I would be. No, I want to be the killer.
I'm
Okay.
definitely the killer. I'm
All right,
sorry.
we got 2 killers in
All
the
right,
house.
fuck it up, sis. Why not?
If,
Just
if
because
I
like,
go,
there's never more of an appropriate time to be the killer ever.
It is fictional.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
it's
but am I a
fictional.
virgin in the movie?
sure, whatever you want to be.
Because if you're a virgin in the movie, you can't die.
It's
Facts.
debatable.
Facts.
What about-
Scream 2? He goes through all the rules.
It's true. He does.
You got us there. All right. Would you sleep inside of a coffin for a night?
I've already done it.
I was going to say he's literally done it.
I
That's
know.
a good
Like
question.
for a night?
I've done it.
Closed?
Yes.
Oh no. How about you?
For a good price.
Okay. Name your price.
How about $50 in a KFC coupon?
No.
You've been talking about getting the
Yeah, we have KFC on our corner.
I
We're
love
trying to
that.
get the
You're not
KFC
wrong.
box.
I used to
We
live
talk
there.
about
the
getting
bucket.
a bucket. I really want to get a
I
bucket.
can get you the cluck bucket on the low.
Oh,
If you were given the death penalty, what would your last meal be?
my mama's meatballs.
I love that for you.
That's like the second time we've heard that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Endless spaghetti, because if I keep eating, they can't.
Wow. Why the fuck hasn't
Anyone
anybody
thought of
figured...
that?
Buffet.
Holy shit.
Take me to Golden Corral.
Yeehaw.
Or Cece's
Giddy up.
Pizza. Which one's grosser?
Cece's
Cece's.
pizza is so good.
It's so nasty.
What?
They have
I've-
like a fucking Cinnabon pizza.
Oh.
What? Yeah, take me. That's my last meals.
Well, there you have it.
That'll kill me before they
You're not wrong.
take me to the
I've
church.
never had either place.
How would you
Totally off
possibly
topic,
have a
though.
stomach to eat something if you know you're gonna die? Like I would be.
I would be like, I
No,
can't
but
eat. I'm sorry.
I can't eat.
My favorite Halloween candy is Take Fives. You can send them to,
Exit skate shop.
yeah.
That was the
I
plug.
thought the next question was, do you like candy corn?
Oh, do you?
Eh.
That's
All
what you
that
wanted to answer.
say. What's your favorite candy?
Undecided.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
we're going to leave on
You
a
heard it
muted,
here first.
a muted note.
Mutual note.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so
Thank you
much for joining
on.
Thanks for having
and
us.
sharing our stories. Do you want to plug your personal things? Anything at all? You don't have to say yes.
You can follow me on Instagram at Chase, Chase the _ money.
Wow.
Chase the money.
Love that. Chase the money.
Anything for you?
Eh.
Oh, okay.
She's very
I can see
in.
you follow me on
you
Instagram.
can follow them at Weird NJ Insta
Yeah. No,
for all your
follow
spooky
Weird Jersey on
needs.
Instagram.
They
love
post
that.
every day and it's so sick.
Oh, you
Wow,
can follow me on
Chase.
Instagram too. MAY_CAY.
Maizie.
If you feel like it. It's mutual, Maisie.
You can follow our cat at thehottie _ Lottie.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
For real. The last pics are hilarious.
The fire.
Oh, God. All right, I'm going to have to go follow because I didn't know your cat had an
yeah.
Instagram. What the fuck?
Yes. Thanks, guys.
All right, well,
Thanks for
thank you,
having us.
everybody, for listening. And make sure you tune in next week for a very
Special
announcement. Bye.